There are currently 3,428 billionaires in the world, and most people think that the only difference between them and other people is that they make more money. But that's not what makes them wealthy. In fact, there are lottery winners who become broke, professional athletes who earn millions and end up in debt, and high-income professionals who live paycheck to paycheck. Meanwhile, some people earning ordinary salaries quietly build substantial wealth over time. So what's the difference? The answer is surprisingly simple. The 1% don't just earn money differently, they manage money differently. They pay themselves first. Imagine two people who both earn $5,000 a month. The first person pays $600 rent, buys groceries, goes out with friends, shops online, and then saves whatever is left. Usually that's not much. The second person invests 20% of his salary as soon as he receives it. Then he allocates the remaining money on monthly expenses. Same income, but different approach. Most people treat saving as an afterthought. The wealthy treat it as a bill, and unlike other bills, it's the one that makes them richer every month. The truth is that wealth isn't built by saving what's left after spending. It's built by spending what's left after saving. Step 2. Income alone doesn't create wealth. Assets create wealth. The people who understand this are the ones who build wealth. Most people spend their lives working for money. The wealthy spend their lives buying things that make money. Think about it. A luxury watch costs money. A rental property can generate money. A brand new sports car costs money. A diversified investment portfolio can generate money. One takes money out of your pocket. The other puts money into your pocket. The wealthy constantly ask themselves one question before spending. Will this asset make me richer or poorer over time? That simple question changes financial decisions dramatically. Step 3. Avoiding lifestyle inflation. Imagine you receive a raise tomorrow. Most people immediately upgrade their lifestyle. A bigger apartment, a newer car, more expensive vacations, better restaurants. Nothing wrong with enjoying life. But there's a hidden trap. Every upgrade increases monthly expenses, and higher expenses require even more income. So nothing happens, people remain dependent on their salaries. The wealthy people often do the opposite. When their income rises, they increase their investments first. Their lifestyle grows slowly. Their assets grow quickly. That's why two people earning the same amount can end up in completely different financial situations. One becomes wealthier, the other simply becomes more expensive. Step 4. Ownership. The wealthy are obsessed with ownership. Why? Because ownership creates leverage. When you own a business, you benefit from its growth. When you own stocks, you benefit from company profits. When you own real estate, you benefit from appreciation and rental income. Ownership means your money continues working even when you sleep. Most people focus on earning more hours. The wealthy focus on owning more assets. That's a huge difference because there are only 24 hours in a day, but assets can generate value around the clock. Step 5. The wealthy don't try to look rich, they try to become rich. There's a big difference. Many people want to look rich by spending money on brands, designer clothing, luxury vehicles, status symbols. The problem is that appearances can be deceptive. Some of the wealthiest people in the world live very simple life. Why? Because every dollar spent on impressing others is a dollar that can't compound. The wealthy understand that true financial freedom is more valuable than looking rich. One gives temporary attention, the other gives permanent options, and options are incredibly powerful. Because money, at its core, is freedom. Freedom to choose where you work, freedom to choose where you live, freedom to choose how you spend your time. The 1% understand this deeply. That's why they focus less on consumption and more on accumulation. Step 6. Long-term thinking. Most people think 1 or 2 days. Some think in months. The wealthy think in decades. When they invest, they aren't asking what will happen tomorrow. They're asking what could happen over the next 5 or 10 years. This perspective changes everything because short-term decisions often conflict with long-term goals. Buying something impulsively feels good today. Investing that same money might feel boring today. But 10 years later, the outcomes are completely different. The wealthy consistently sacrifice small pleasures today for larger rewards tomorrow. Not because they're smarter, because they're more patient. And patience is one of the highest-paying skills in finance. Step 7. The wealthy track their money. Not obsessively, not every hour, but consistently. They know what comes in, they know what goes out, they know their net worth, they know how their investments are performing. What gets measured gets improved. Imagine trying to lose weight without ever stepping on a scale. Or running a business without looking at revenue. It wouldn't make sense. Yet millions of people never track their finances. The wealthy treat money like a business, because that's exactly what personal finance is. It's your personal financial enterprise, and every successful business tracks its numbers. Step 8. Debt. Most people believe having debt limits your financial freedom. The wealthy understand that debt is a tool. For example, borrowing money for a depreciating luxury purchase often creates financial pressure. Using debt strategically to acquire productive assets can create financial growth. The key isn't whether debt exists. The key is what the debt is used for. That's why the wealthy focus less on avoiding debt entirely and more on using it intelligently. Step 9. Protecting your downside. Most people focus only on making money. The wealthy focus on keeping money. That's why they build emergency funds, maintain insurance, diversify investments, and avoid putting all their wealth into a single opportunity. Because one catastrophic mistake can erase years of progress. The goal isn't just to grow wealth, the goal is to preserve what you have. Step 10. The wealthy make investing automatic. This is where most people fail. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect market, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions. But perfection never arrives. The 1% understand that consistency beats perfection, so they automate investments. Every month, every paycheck, without emotion, without debate, without hesitation, because they know something important. Successful investing isn't usually about making brilliant decisions. It's about making good decisions repeatedly for a very long time. Step 11. Wealth is a process, not an event. Most people want a breakthrough. The wealthy build systems. Most people want a shortcut. The wealthy focus on habits. Most people want to be rich in 1 or 2 days. The wealthy focus on long-term outcomes. That's why wealth often appears slow at first, then suddenly fast. What looks like overnight success is usually decades of disciplined financial behavior happening behind the scenes. So if you want to manage money like the 1%, start with these principles. Pay yourself first. Buy assets. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Focus on ownership. Think long-term. Track your finances. Use debt carefully. Protect your downside. Automate your investments. And remember that wealth is built through systems, not luck. Because becoming wealthy isn't about acting rich. It's about making financial decisions that your future self will thank you for. And the best time to start doing that is today.